When I first realized that I'm going to be a Singapore Walks tour guide, first thing came to my mind was, alright. It was exactly the challenge I was waiting for.
You definitely need to be knowledgeable to be one of the guides. You need to know, literally anything and everything, because you never know what they're going to ask you. You need to be patient. You definitely need to have people skills.
Before you suggest anything to them, you have to find out what they have already seen. Okay? Have they been to the city? Is this their first time in Singapore? What are their interests? Then you can kind of divert. If you can remember their names, that's already bonus.
And we would love to have you. You've been a great group. Thank you very much.
What was my name again?
Bye.
Thank you.
Evan! I would have failed in memory test.
How I usually do it is I either think of someone I know, like my daughter is Sarah, so I won't forget you for sure. If there is a name, like if you look like an actress or something, I will link you. Musicians, actors, actresses, whatever works for you. It's also great to, first of all, identify what you're wearing because it helps you remember who's in your group when you're in public as well. But here we have a section of it that's dedicated to Buddhism, as you said. So this is Kuan Yin, the goddess of mercy. Yeah, many, many hands. She's able to assist many people at the same time. Okay?
Guan Yin, yeah, Guan Yin. That's the Chinese word for the goddess of mercy. Steve said something about when I said, why did Guan Yin had so many hands? He said, to ward off the mosquitoes. You gotta, at the same time, while you have strong religious belief, you also gotta make sure that you don't get too uptight with them, because it cannot be an uptight tour. It's gotta be something of a relaxed, but at the same time, reminding them along the way that their comments sometimes might not be something that average person on the street will be able to accept.
Sometimes when you're on your tour, you're actually going to get people coming in and joining you. Very often they're locals. So how are you going to deal with a situation like that? Quite easily, you bear with them until you finish, and then as diplomatically as you can, you approach them and you tell them, unfortunately this is a paid tour. If you'd like to join me, I will be doing the same tour on a different day, and then you give them one of our brochures.
But they kept bugging my group and taking pictures with them, like, oh, take pictures. So I was like, God, how like that? I just kept going, tour! Because they didn't seem to speak English anyway, and then I was like, tour, thank you, sorry, but they just kept on the group, man.
And this is a nutmeg tree, if everybody didn't know. Fortunately, we don't have any fruit, so I can't really show you, but I will show you oh, I'm sorry, please don't pinch. Okay, thank you. Our national park sports are very, they love their trees very much, and it's a $500 fine.
The tensest moment during my tour is losing Evan. And they were like, oh, you lost the guy, the really tall guy. And I was like, what's his name? Hey, this is really embarrassing, but do any of you remember his name?
I just met him.
Dan Wilhelm.
What was his name?
Ivan? Or is that you?
No, I'm Nick.
Nick.
Evan.
It was Evan.
Evan?
Ivan?
Okay, maybe you could just help me out with just shout.
Evan!
You're kidding me. What's he good?
Being a tour guide, a Singapore Walks guide, is definitely not an easy job. I can see that the challenges and the jobs are getting tougher as we move along.